All right, how we doing today, people? We're out here and we are getting prepared for winter, and we have a scenario where we have let's say we have the RAV4, okay, and we've got the RAV is all inspected. It's got the New York State inspection sticker on it. I took it in, and the only thing the guy had an issue with, he said, whoever did the metalwork did a wonderful job. He said the frame and the rocker panels are very structurally sound. So hats off to the DIYer. Hats off to the people that say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to do the metalwork. I'm not going to hire it done. And he made a good compliment there. So we're proud and we're happy about that. Now, the rocker panels have all been done. I put 1 gallon of fluid film underneath that vehicle that is very, very saturated with fluid film. It's not going to just rust. It is just a secondary vehicle. It's not something that's like a daily driver. But what he did want me to do, and I do agree with him, the back tires, even though the tread was good, they were weather checked, and they had some cracks in them. And of course, they can't let that go down a highway like that. And I really don't think he was even trying to sell me tires, because at the time, his computer system was down, and he said, I can't even sell you tires, but you do need to get them on. And the other thing he wanted me to do was change out the rotors on the back. So I went and did that. I took it back, got it inspected, and let me give you a little rundown of what we got here. So this is the spare tire for the RAV. As you can see, it's a steel rim. That didn't come like that, people. I think these rims were like a silver color or whatever, but what I did was I took several tools. Let me bring you out here in the light where you can actually see. Okay. Let me drop this down. Now, what I did is, let's bring you back in the shop. There are several tools that we used. And here's what we used. Number one, we used this little sanding tool to get deep down into the cracks on the back and around the perimeter of it. There was some heavy scaling in the back. I used the descaler, or the needler, so to speak. I did put brand new ends from Harbor Freight. I put them in. Let me get this out of the way. And then this other tool I used here, this is a 90-degree air tool that spins. Obviously, that's for really getting off some of the light, how do we call it, flash rust. So those are the tools we used. Remember, people, PSA, make sure you put actual pneumatic oil in your tools. Don't use WD-40 or nothing like that. So the other thing we did, once we got it down, the front was really not bad. But on the back, down in here underneath, let me get you, it's still kind of fresh, so I want to show you what we got here. Down in the very bottom there, in that groove, there was some heavy rust. That's what I used the descaler. Let me see if I can do this, because I'm trying to do it with one hand. Okay, down in here, there was some heavy rusting in there, so I took that descaler around there really good, and that small long sander, and I went in there and got that all really good. But there still was some residue of rust in there, and let me show you what else I used on it, people. I took a brush and I used this, Loctite makes this navel jelly. It's a rust dissolver, right? It converts the rust over into it's like a black oxide afterwards. It's actually, I believe it's like an acid. It kills the rust. Now, what the directions say is, once you apply that liberally, you turn around and you let that sit on there for about 10 minutes. Now, don't just paint after that. You have to take hot water or water and rinse that off and deactivate the acid in it. And so that's why you can see the driveway's wet right now. But we did that. We blew it all off with the air gun and wiped it all down with some acetone. Listen to me. Do not use denatured alcohol before you paint. Denatured alcohol actually has stuff in it that will prevent your paint from sticking. It's a good cleaner, but it's actually like a you can use it for like lantern fuel. It's got a little bit of oil residue in it. Don't use that before you paint. Use regular alcohol, rubbing alcohol if you wanted to clean something off, or acetone, something like that, or a paint prep. But we did that. We got it all wiped down. Let me show you something else what I did. Let me show you here. Action Jackson is on it, believe me when I tell you that. What I used here, people, let me show you. When I went around, this is just a spare tire, but when I went around to paint along the outside perimeter of the rim, instead of getting it all over now the back side of the tire, this tire is just a spare. The back side of the tire, I did get a little on there, but on the front side, you just curve this Bondo tool and just work your way around, and you can get that. I used a foam brush, and let me see if I got it right here still. Yeah, I used a foam brush, and I got right in here like this really good. Okay, and go all the way around the tire. This way here, the outer edge isn't going to rust on you. But that's what I used. Let me show you here. We did get the new tires. These were 105 bucks each. I think they're like 120 installed. But as you can see, the rotors are new. Now, just from sitting here with all this rain we've had, a little bit of rust on there already. But what I'm going to do is pull these rims off. Now, I did these years ago, and you can see it doesn't last forever, but you know, look at the deal here. The water sits in there, okay, from raining. So what my plan is, people, is to get these cleaned up, just like the other one over there, the spare. These all have new tires on the front and the back. And as you can see, the rockers are really nice. Okay, now this vehicle is not a brand new vehicle, but we're trying to make it as presentable as possible. But after I'm done, before I put the rim on, I'm going to spray fluid film in here and coat the back side of that really good. And hopefully that will square it away. But that's where the bracket goes. It holds it on. The spare tire, we're going to go ahead and hit this with some fluid film, and that's the situation. You've got some kind of a steel rim, and you're going to be going through the winter salts. Try to get it prepped and try to get her done. Get her done now, people. And what I used was black Rust-Oleum. And then here's my, I want to show you the wagon. Here's the wagon. I got this panel put in. Now that was kind of a bear to put them bends in it. That's pretty heavy steel. And what I did was I just took a grinder tool, a cutoff wheel, and just barely scored it. And then I put clamps on it, and I worked it with a little mini torch and bent it till it was nice and flat. And same thing, I did the other angle. But what I did here, you can see that I just used the 1/4-inch rivets all the way around. But that's sturdy. That ain't going nowhere, people. And there's the front side. What I did is I put seam sealer all around the edge. Okay, this has all been painted now, so we're happy. All the headache racks and stuff are on. I got all the bolts and hardware in there. We sprayed fluid film in there. And this one here, I don't think I'm going to put a cap on it. Only this one here, I think I will. This one here, I will, and then the one on the very back. But as you see, it's got the drain holes here for any kind of moisture. We can come up in here with the fluid film and spray down in the rails. All the bottom rails have been sprayed. I do need to put one more coating of beige on here. This has this seam sealers, really nice stuff. I got that from Napa. And we're ready, people. We are ready to put this to work. And again, here, I went through and did the seam sealer. Okay, so this is all seamed up really nice. As you can see, this baby will sift nice, you know. It'll come out, like, let me show you. As you can see. Okay, it'll sift really nice, and it will shut down very nice. So, what else can I say? We're pretty happy with it. Yeah, we couldn't be happier. So that's the deal there. We got the wagon. We're ready to go. Here's the other thing I want to tell you. Over to, I think it's Olney's. They got these canvas tarps. Really, really nice tarps. They're heavyweight tarp, but they're not, how do I say, a tarp. They're more of a canvas. and I use them to cover up to keep it out of the rain or the sun. And even my grill, I got one for that, as you can see. It keeps the rain off of it from just rotting them out. But there we go, people. We're happy. We're doing it. We're doing it right. And we're going to have some nice rims on the vehicle that say, if you look real close, you'll probably be able to pick something out to say, hey, look, there's an imperfection there. There's a little flaw over there. There's a little bitty part there that didn't look perfect. But I don't care about that, because you know what? It's better than looking at rust. And, you know, we're doing it to the best of our ability over here at the farm. And we really, really don't, how do I put this? We're not going to a car show with it. But, hey, the other thing, I had the codes guy show up here. And he left a note on my door, so I went and got a hold of him. And let's come out here by the other trailer and we'll talk. And so what happened was, he seen my my shipping containers in the back. And of course he come out and he says, you know, we're going to have to get something going on here, because we don't know if you have exceeded your storage capacity. Have you ever heard of such a thing? He wants to know if I have exceeded my storage capacity. And I said, well, I really don't go by whatever you're talking about, storage capacity. I've got plenty of land here. I got 8 acres of land, so at the end of the day, you really can't come after me over something stupid like that. But I called, I didn't leave it at that. He's trying to say, well, I'll work with you if you tear your shed down. If you tear your shed down, because I've got one shed there, that's an outbuilding, and then he's calling my greenhouse an outbuilding. And he's saying if you have more than 2, somehow you're violating the city ordinance. Well, I told him I don't really necessarily live in the city. And I called the city assessor. And what they did was they said, do is get a hold of the county and see if you can't get your land assessed at a different, how do I put this, region or assessment. And I can remember years ago, I mean, I've had the property for 24 years now, and I built, maybe 25 years, because I think I had it a year or 2 before I built, and I built in 99, so let's just call it 97. I had the property legally and paid it off in a couple years, and then I remember on the deed it said agricultural. And I called down to the county, and the guy says, well, sir, I think where you're at, you're already considered agricultural, because what I wanted to do was qualify for farm status. And the guy said to me, sir, I think you're already agricultural, you're already farm status. And you know me, your boy Bry, he's always wanted to be a farmer, you know. So, you know what that did? That just made me tickled pink, actually. And it gave me ammunition, so when the next time this clown show shows up, I'll be able to tell him, from now on, you'll be assessing me from the road. Don't come on my property, don't step foot on my driveway. And how do I put this? Stop breaking my balls, because I'm Action Jackson, and I will not put up with no nonsense like that. So I called my county, the ward, whatever the ward is, that guy, your county representative, so to speak, or your district. And he had the same sentiment as me. He's like, we live out on the back roads because we don't want to live in the city. So what happened was, he said he's going to look into it, but he's pretty sure shipping containers don't apply to outbuildings. And I told him to give him some ammunition. I said, well, what I'll do is I will put wheels underneath these things and a tongue on them and call them trailers if I have to. But I don't think I'll have to, because I called the city assessor back, and the guy told me to have her double check it, and she sure enough said, you know what, you are already agricultural, you don't need to do anything. So the codes guys don't always know, okay, the situation. They don't always know it. They don't always look in and do the background checks and all that. What they do is look at the money situation and try to get you for a permit. He tried telling me, oh, $300-400 will get you a permit. You can make a little building set up out of them. I'm like, you don't need $300-400 of mine. Okay. And then even the one fella that was his partner says, he says, oh man, I wish I was in the market for one of them. I'd buy one of them from you, as if I was going to have to get rid of them. I said, I'm not getting rid of them. I'm not getting rid of them. I don't think so. So I also told them while we're at it, we're building a garage next year, and we're not building a small one. I was going to build a small garage, and guess what? Now what I'm doing? 24 by 36. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to build a big garage. And when I'm all done with the garage, I'm going to put a sign up on there that says, this is no longer will I refer to this as the compound. This is the farm, the Kelly Road Farm. So you heard it here first from Axon Jackson that this is the Kelly Road Farm from here on out. We are not going to call this a compound. We're going to call it the farm. And here's the deal. I got agricultural status, baby. Ho-ho! Your boy can burn stuff. He can bury stuff. You know what I'm saying? They really went one route looking to really try to quarter me down on these two things. And what they did is they have released the hounds, so to speak. They have emboldened me even more now that I'm a farmer. I don't care if I'm a worm farmer. I'm going to be farming, boys. I'm going to have apple trees, whatever I can do. There's going to be something on here. I've already got the greenhouse. I'm going to say this is a all organic farm over here on the Kelly Road. You can't touch us. We got these shipping containers to keep all our money in. Woo! Money and ammo, baby. But all kidding aside, you will not see these go anywhere, people. We are going to keep these on the compound because, excuse me, even I'm making a mistake. We are going to keep this on the Kelly Road Farm. You're looking at the farmer. You're looking at the main farmer right here on this road. This is your boy, Bry. I got to get to going because the farm is not going to run itself, people. If you know what I mean.